Hello, it's Carolyn. I'm here with today's 5-minute fix, and today we are going to be chatting about relationships. So I had a great opportunity with a wonderful client of mine this morning. We had a great session, and we discussed some things, and I asked her if I could share that in my 5-minute fix today. So today I'm going to share with you something that we uncovered in her session today. So this gal, she had a great job. She had a wonderful coworker, and they became great friends over the years. Well, things, were kind of rough for both of them, and they had their own personal issues at home that caused them grief. And this gal I was working on, my client, she started having some wonderful changes in her life, and her situation at home was getting better, and she was starting to come out and blossom and grow. Well, as this happened, her coworker, on a level I know she didn't understand, started treating my client poorly and talking behind her back and doing things to sabotage her at work. And it became a very toxic situation. And these two had been such good friends, and then all of a sudden it came crashing down. Their friendship just exploded, and it was very nasty and uncomfortable and unhappy. And my client, not because of that, but because of other things, had found a special someone and was moving on in her romantic life. She found a different job and was upgrading in her career. And her friend at work, her coworker, was just not very kind to her, and they left on not great terms. And my client was sharing with me this experience and how it was really causing her grief. And even though it has been a little while, that it was a really hard breakup, so to speak. In fact, the last 2 days that she worked, her coworker didn't even come to work those days, so she never even said goodbye. And she was kind of harboring some sadness there. And it came about that she had experienced this kind of things many times in her life. Every time she went from a place down here and lifted herself up a little bit, someone she was close to started trying to tear her down in every way that they could. And in the past, at times, she was adopting an attitude of, oh my goodness, it's just too hard to bring myself up to this higher level. Everybody that's close to me is so mean to me when I do that. I'm just going to stay down here where people are, my friends, my family are nicer to me. And we talked about it, and we cleared a whole bunch of things, and I have some wonderful magical things. It's not magic, but some really neat things that I can do with Simply Healed to help heal that process. But what we discovered is that this had become her belief, a belief that she had harbored, that if I raise myself up and start to become better and the person that I want to be, the people who are close to me are going to leave me and they're going to treat me poorly. She created this false belief, and she was bringing it to fruition even without her knowing. So every time she was moving up, someone was bringing her down. And so she started thinking that maybe it wasn't right for her to have these wonderful, happy experiences in her life. And so maybe I should just stay down here, and maybe I shouldn't be reaching and striving for these greater things. So how do you deal with those kinds of things? If you're the kind of person who, when you start raising yourself up, all of a sudden everyone around you is pulling and scratching at you, it's like I envision it like all these people in the bottom of a well, and they're trapped down there, and someone throws down a ladder, and you're the one climbing up the ladder to get out, and everyone down there is pulling at you and dragging at you, trying to pull you back down off that ladder so that you can't climb up. It's like, you stay down here with us where it's icky and dirty and there are rats and it's yucky, because we don't want you to be any better than us. We want to keep you down here with us because we're miserable and we want you to be miserable. Remember, misery loves company. That's what I envision when I start seeing my clients moving upward and those who are around them are pulling them down. And so here's the key to remember, and I know I've talked about this before, but the way they treat you is a reflection of how they are on the inside. And when you can recognize that and start sending them love and appreciation and letting them know that you're not any better than they are, that you love them no matter what. And these are the people who are close to you. You know, you're not telling this to just strangers, but you're sharing that with the people who are close to you, who I've seen this in husbands and wives. So one of them will start, you know, they're both down here feeling kind of crummy, and one of them starts to do things to improve their life. Maybe they get a little more education so they can get a better job, or they start taking care of their body so they start feeling better about themselves. And the other one's still down here, and they're thinking, oh, really? Yeah, now you're going to leave me because you think you're better than me? So sending that message that I'm no better than you, I love you just as you are, I'm making these changes for me and what's best for me, and I know what's best for me is best for us, then that kind of helps bring you closer together and keep that gap smaller. And so I guess the key here is recognizing that yes, you are moving up your ladder, and it is good and safe for you to do that. That is why we are here. We are here to have joy. That is why we're here, and we don't need to be sad and sorrowful and wallow in self-pity and all the yuck. We can rise above it. And as we do so, we're not leaving anyone behind. We're still loving them and caring for them. So it's not like we're thinking we're better. We're still the same at heart. Remember, we're all connected. And so you sending that love to that special person, your dear friend, your spouse, your family member, whomever that is that's struggling with you, seeing you do better, it's because they really desire that for themselves as well, and they can't see how to get there. And you giving them that love and support for where they are now and letting them know that they are wonderful and you love them exactly how they are is a huge step. You don't have to love their actions. You don't have to love the things that they participate in that maybe are not as wonderful as you'd like them to be, but you love the person, and you need to send that message to them. And if you want to do some fun stuff, like my client that I met with today, she said, oh yeah, be sure and tell them how light and free that I feel, because I just feel so free and so light. I've been so heavy and weighed down with this. I didn't even realize how it was holding me down like it was. I thought it was just this little situation with my coworker, but I realized that it's been my belief system for so many years, because every time I do this, I get knocked down. So then I come back down because I think that's where I should be. But no, you should be up here. It's good to be up here. It's great to be up here, and it's great to send those love to those who are scratching and crawling and trying to pull you back down. And as you do that, then they will soften, because they're going to recognize that you're not leaving them behind. They're still with you. They're still a part of you. You're still tethered. We're all connected, but you're just at a little higher level, and pretty soon they're going to come up there with you, and you're going to be there together and equally on your own plane, because we're all different, but your level, it's the same as mine. Does that make sense? So anyway, that's your 5-minute fix for today. Remembering that relationships are all about sending love back and forth. Love, respect, trust, appreciation, acceptance. It's all about that. And when someone is pulling you down and trying to bring you down because you've bettered yourself, that's just them feeling bad because they want to be where you are. And if you send them that love and acceptance, all of a sudden they're going to rise a little bit, and they're not going to be quite so pulling you down that ladder. All right, everyone, have a fabulous day. Talk to you soon.